Um, I'll talk a little bit more now about the program itself, so the LL.B, and what are the key points that you have to remember and know about this unique program. So just a quick fact, it was established for the first time in Mauritius since 2016. So we've had the first graduating batch last year in 2019. So first of all, a main advantage is the international expertise. So really what Sorbonne-Assas International Law School relies on its international campuses is the expertise from its professors. So how this happens is in each campus, there are the professors from Université Paris de Panthéon-Assas who come teach. So they travel to Mauritius and they teach here. In Mauritius, we also have Mauritian law practitioners who teach on the LL.B program. Now, it's also a program taught in English. So yes, we're a French university, but we speak English. So all of your courses, all of the exams, everything is done in English. Now, of course, Mauritius being a bilingual country, French is not forbidden from the classrooms, but everything is done in English otherwise. So you can always ask for a clarification in French. All our professors are bilingual French and English. Another advantage is the adaptability of the curriculum. And that's really what differentiates it from other programs, other law programs, either in Mauritius or even worldwide. It's really that it integrates various components of law. So I'm not sure how familiar you are, but there are different families of laws throughout the world. And this program actually integrates civil law, which is French law, common law, which is English law, Mauritian law, which, as some of you know, already is a hybrid law between civil law and common law. You also have international law and comparative law. So the idea is really to have a program that offers you a vast array of career opportunities, whether worldwide or in Mauritius. So whether if you want to, maybe be a lawyer in Mauritius or in the UK or in France or anywhere else, it will be possible because you will have studied all these different components of law. So we'll talk about the career opportunities slightly later on in this presentation. Now, a little bit more about the Mauritius campus, where the LL.B is offered. So we are in partnership with the Uniciti Education Hub. So it's an integrated university campus on the West Coast in Mauritius. And this is where the LL.B classes are being taught. So when you join the campus, you also have lots of campus activities. And actually on the campus, there are also other universities, not only a law university. So it's kind of a vibrant and multi-sector, if I shall say, campus. Now, a little bit more on the career path. So what you can do with this LL.B and where you can work or study. So as I said, it is possible to do it in Mauritius, so to become a lawyer here, to study here and to work here. But also in France, you can also pass your bar there or attend any other law program there. Of course, each program will vary in terms of admissions requirements. And you can also go to the UK and a lot of other countries throughout the world, because again, you will have studied these different families of laws. So now in Mauritius, how does it happen? So if you do want to do your bar exams, which are only required if you intend to practice law, so this LL.B is a qualifying law degree. What this means is that once you graduate from this LL.B, you are eligible to sit for the vocational course offered by the Council for Vocational Legal Education. And this course is required whether if you want to be a solicitor, an attorney, or a notary in Mauritius. Now, maybe being a lawyer is not exactly what you want to do. I mean, a career in law is much more than just the possibility of being a lawyer. You can also apply for a master's degree or an LLM program, and perhaps in different fields of law. So actually during your LL.B, you will see different specific modules, whether criminal law, family law, tax law, international law, and all of these you can specialize into after for your post-graduate studies. Now in France, you can also apply for a master's there. So in France, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the educational system there, but masters are usually divided into 2 years. So Master 1 is the first year and Master 2 is the second year. So you can apply for a master's program in France, whether at Université Paris 2 Panthéon-Assas or at any other university. Now there's going to be a new law in France, meaning that all students will have to go through an application process. But basically, you'd have the same chances as someone who has studied, let's say, their undergraduate degree at the university in France. You can also apply for other master's or LLM programs in France. And as I said, it can really you can really choose depending on your areas of interest. Now, one moment. So career path in the UK, you can actually do your bar exams there. You can apply for a graduate diploma in law. So that is a program that is required for all students who have studied an LL.B with a non-UK university. So the GDL is just a 10-month program. And then once you do this, you can be eligible to apply for bar exams in the UK. So for those of you who are interested, you can either do your GDL in the UK or actually it's also possible now in Mauritius. It's offered in Newcland, for example. Same as in France, you are also able to apply to any other master's or LLM program in the UK or in common law universities. And now for other countries, well, eligibility to bar exams will depend on country regulations. So it's really quite specific, but usually you can say probably about a year of, probably a short program to adapt yourself to the law of that country. And again, you have the ability to apply to many LLM and master's programs worldwide. Now, I'd like to show you a short video, and this is a video on an alumni journey. So Guillaume joined the LL.B in 2016, and he graduated recently in 2019. So here is the video. Just a quick note, this video is in French. However, I will share with you all the link after. You can watch it on YouTube too, and it has subtitles in English.
J'ai essayé de décrire ce sentiment-là ce matin en me réveillant, mais c'est assez difficile parce que je ne réalise pas forcément quelle est l'importance de ce grand jour-là. Enfin, je sais l'importance, mais je ne sais pas comment décrire ce sentiment-là. J'attends vraiment d'avoir ce diplôme-là en main, ce bout de papier-là, et pour plus tard pouvoir ressentir quelque chose de mieux, là, après le trac, et peut-être une petite pointe d'excitation et d'appréhension aussi. Je dirais que c'est un challenge que mes amis et moi nous avons accompli. Que aussi il fallait beaucoup de discipline que j'ai appris grâce au scout. Je retiens qu'étudier du droit, c'était vraiment un rêve pour moi de devenir avocat. Maintenant, je vais vous raconter une petite anecdote de ce qui s'est passé pendant ma soutenance. Et il y a mon superviseur qui m'avait dit que tout ce qui est utopique aujourd'hui n'est pas forcément utopique demain et qu'il faut travailler pour réussir ce qu'on veut.
Alors aujourd'hui, c'est une très très grande joie, c'est une grande émotion qu'on n'arrive même pas à expliquer, c'est que du bonheur aujourd'hui.
Et moi je suis très très fier de lui, de voir le parcours qu'il a fait de voir le sacrifice qu'il a mis dedans. Chapeau, hats off.
Welcome class of 2019 to your graduation ceremony. Concrétisation de quelque chose qu'on a rêvé depuis pas mal de temps. Force, courage et détermination, de l'abnégation dans ce qu'on fait, parce que c'est facile de baisser les bras, mais c'est encore plus dur de recommencer ou de reprendre où nous avons laissé.
Right. So thank you all for watching. I hope I haven't lost you and that you are still here. It's now time for questions. I see already that we have one question from Matilda in the chat. It's not a silly question at all. It's simply, so just a quick explanation on the difference between M1, M2 and an LLM. It's simply, it's two different educational systems. So an LLM is typically a postgraduate degree in the law field that you would mostly get in Anglophone countries. So you'd get that in the UK, in the US, in Australia, probably some of them in Canada as well. You can also get some of them in France, but it's basically the English equivalent to an M1, M2. So an LLM, depending on the country, it could be 1 to 2 years, and also depending on the topic of the LLM. So in France, masters are 2 years, but usually in your second year, so M2 or Master 2, you would also have some internship included in there. So it's just, two different systems, but in the end, they are sort of equivalent if you do get an LLM and M1 or M2, really depending on the specific field. So the M1 is the level required in order to be eligible to sit for bar exams in France. So if you intend to sit for bar exam in France, you'd have to do this 1 year Master 1, then you sit for bar exams. And nothing stops you as well from doing a Master 2, so a second year to sort of complete the master's journey within the French system. I hope I've answered your question. Are there any other questions? Feel free to ask them either on the chat or either maybe just unmute your microphone and request to unmute it, and I'll be happy to answer them. Feel free, any questions, there are no stupid questions, so just feel free to ask. Perhaps I see some of you are a bit shy, so maybe let me add another point, which I'm sure you must have some questions on, is admissions requirement. So I'm not sure in what level you all are, whether if you have graduated from high school, if you are graduating soon in 1 year, 2 years. So in terms of the requirements to be admitted on the LL.B, you do have, yes, quite a big bar that is put on academic excellence. So depending on the systems, you would either need, let's say, a minimum, like in the A-level system, you would need a minimum of like A's and B's, or in the French baccalaureate system, you would need probably at least a 14 out of 20. But I really do want to stress the fact that it's not, if you do not get these grades, it's not something that will stop you from joining. So actually the university really sees the students as a whole. So there's not only the academic part that's important, there's a huge emphasis on motivation. So a law program is really a specific field. Usually people say you either like law or you don't. So if you like reading, if you love reading, if you like, hearing about international news, local news, regional news, if you like debating, putting your arguments out there, those are qualities to look out for, if you're interested for the law program, for a law program. Some of you might still be shy, but be interested in this. And so, yeah, we do have students, who are admitted on the law program and who have grades slightly under this. You might have a C somewhere or a D. You might have, I don't know, like a 12 out of 20, at your baccalaureate, but you could still get admitted if you make a good case for yourself. You write a good motivation letter. I mean, let's be honest, it's not having a D in math that will, stop you from being perhaps an excellent lawyer. So the university is, sort of quite open about this. And in terms of applications, you do have to apply every year, let's say as of December and or January, for an intake in September every year. So the program has only one intake per year, and that's in September. I just see another question. So, okay, it's a very valid question, Zuleka, thank you for this. So your question, I'm not sure if everyone can see it, but it's basically, if you do this LL.B, do you strictly have to go into the law field, or can you do something else? Actually, what we say is, law opens any door and cannot close any doors either. So in this sense, you don't have to be a lawyer or to work in the law field to, after you complete your LL.B, you could, let's say, do a master's in international relations or a master's in business administration, human resources. I mean, law is a really, it's an excellent sort of social sciences background. And anyways, we always say that an LL.B isn't an end in itself. So after this LL.B, you would want to do a master's as well. Again, it doesn't have to be in the law field. You could do a master's in journalism, and like there are so many other fields you could do a master's in. Actually, nowadays, many people are also working as jurists in legal departments of certain firms. Today, virtually there are no big firms without a legal department. So let's say you could work in a legal department of a pharmaceutical firm, of an agricultural firm, of any field really. So that's what the beauty of it, I think, of a law program. Okay, we have a couple more questions. Okay, so a question whether if the master's comes first and then the bar. So really how you have to view it is sort of two different things. So the bar is what you will need. It's exams that you will need to take if you want to practice law. So lawyers practice law. There are other professions in law, in the law field, where you might not necessarily need to do a bar. So for instance, you could decide to do your LL.B and then do a master's and work and not necessarily do your bar. So the bar will come after the LL.B, definitely. If it's in Mauritius, it will come straight after your 3 years for the LL.B. If you decide to do your bar in France, as I was showing earlier, it comes after 1 more year of studies. Same in the UK. So you do your LL.B. 3 years, then you do 1 year of either a GDL in the UK or an M1 in France, and then you were eligible to sit for bar exams in those respective countries. I see another question. Yes, tuition fees are very important as well. So the tuition fees on this LL.B. are 6,000 euros per year. So now it's equivalent in rupees. Of course, it also depends on the exchange rate, but approximately it's about 250,000 rupees every year. And so that excludes living costs for the international students. So in terms of living costs in Mauritius, you can also consider about the same amount, about 6,000 euros as well of living costs. Maybe I can give you as well just one moment. A quick heads up on how we have adapted the teaching on the LL.B. With this COVID-19 pandemic. I'm sure some of you might ask how this is currently working out. So since March, as you know, we've had to switch all teaching to online teaching. So we've done it using a certain system called Teams from March until the end of the academic year, so in June. And since September, we have put in place dedicated e-learning or learning management system to allow for the courses to still take place in the best possible conditions, no matter where you are, and also to make sure that the teaching still occurs with the French professors. So a year ago, how this used to happen is that professors from the university in Paris would travel to Mauritius for, let's say, a week. They would teach during that week and then they would go back. Today, it's a bit difficult. As some of you may know, the borders are still quite restricted here in Mauritius. Traveling is quite restricted. So if you are coming from outside, you need to quarantine for 2 weeks. As you can imagine, logistically speaking, this is a bit difficult for a professor who comes to teach only 1 week, quarantine for 2 weeks before. So what we've done is that the professors in Paris still give their class live, so online, and the professors from Mauritius give their classes on a face-to-face basis on campus. Actually, this year, we have also had 6 international students on the LL.B. So this is great news as well, because it means the program is getting more and more international. And they are still unable to travel to Mauritius for the moment, but I'm confident they will be able to do so very soon. But they're still able to follow their classes due to this new online system. So what happens is, in whichever countries they are in, we have some students in the US, in Gabon, Poland, France, they follow the courses from the computer, and they can actually see the classroom here in Mauritius. So the Mauritian students attending the course, and the professor, probably teaching from Paris, is also connected. So this has been quite a big change for the university, but it was definitely necessary given the context. We hope to get back to face-to-face teaching at some point, but only the future will tell if we'll be able to do so. Otherwise, we'll have to keep on adapting and making sure we can still deliver the knowledge to our students. Any other questions? Do I still have you all? Yes, I think so. Could you maybe tell me in what year you are all in? When are you looking to apply maybe for this LL.B? Is it for maybe September 2021, 2022, 2023 even? I see you still all are quite shy, or maybe you've zoomed out into something else. Oh, I see a couple. Okay. Okay, so we have some of you who are actually looking to apply, you know, quite soon. So it's great that you were able to attend this session. I know it's an important time to decide as well. So a quick reminder again in terms of, you know, when to apply. So the applications are not closed, of course, but they will open, I think, in about December or January. So one thing to remember is that even though you do not have your final high school results, you can still apply with your mock results. So your bac blanc, if that's what some of you do. Basically, at least if you have your school results for the first trimester of your last year of high school, what you would do is submit your application, and then you would get most likely, I mean, if your application is accepted, you would get a conditional offer on the program, and that is a form of a reservation for your seat, because we take only one class per year, and we take a maximum of about 30 students, so it's quite limited in that sense. Let me read some of your other messages. So two questions. So one of you is resitting for the A-levels, and they want to know, that the person wants to know if they can apply with their current results. So yes, if there are, you know, good results, you can definitely apply. Anyways, just, you know, it's important that you all write about your personal, I mean, your study situation in your motivation letter. So if you apply with these results, just tell us that, you know, you are resitting for A-levels, and you know, you expect them by this date. But perhaps I would also advise you to get in touch with me, and we can discuss later on, you know, more one-to-one about your situation, and see when would be the best time for you to apply. Another question, yes, so a question, so if you can use predicted grades, definitely. Typically, if you have already done, you know, let's say half of you first, let's say the first half of your last year of high school, and you have, you know, some predicted grades, some mock results. In the French system, they call it bulletin du premier trimestre. So your grades from the first trimester, yes, you can apply. Anyways, if you're unsure, again, do get in touch with me, and I will really see, you know, what you know, type of high school qualification you are looking to get, and what is the best time for you to apply. So just so that you all know, you will be getting at the end of this presentation, I mean, I think in the next couple of days, you will receive information by email. So you will get my contact details as well. I'm available on WhatsApp, on phone, on email, and I'm definitely available for a meeting on the Pierrefonds campus as well, if you'd like. Skype if you're not in Mauritius, or anything. I'm always available. Maybe a last word in terms of campus life, because I know it matters for, you know, some of you. It's quite important that it's great to focus on academics, but it's also good to have, an extracurricular and social life. So here on the Mauritius campus, we do also offer some activities for the students, and in collaboration with the other universities as well, and the other students. And we definitely encourage student-led initiatives as well to do activities. So we have some student clubs, we have a law society on the LL.B program. And yeah, we always encourage, initiatives to, create some more cohesion, whether within your class, between the different years, and even with other universities on campus, because it's always great to learn from another person in a different field, from a different country, or a different background. So any last questions? I think maybe I've answered all of your questions, although I doubt it, because I know students always have lots of questions, but it's okay. I mean, it's completely normal. You've had a lot of information right now. So, take your time to think about it, see if it's the right program for you. And yes, if you do have some other questions that you'd like to ask me, please feel free to get in touch, and yeah, I'll be really happy to reply. Just one last question I see from Matilda. So do students graduate in Mauritius or back in France? So the students graduate in Mauritius. So we do a graduation ceremony here on the Mauritius campus. But your degree is a degree from Université Paris 2 Panthéon-Assas, again. The Uniciti Education Hub is only a facilitator in the process. So they are the ones running the campus. They might help sometimes in terms of, the admissions process, but all the academic decisions, the curriculum, the awarding of the degree, all of this is the sole responsibility of the university. Great. Well, thank you again, everyone, for attending this session. I hope it was helpful. And yes, I hope I'll get in touch with you all very soon. Bye-bye. Thanks.